Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Jake's RC Stuff, and today it's another From the Workshop episode and we're going to be moving some models onto this, my Futaba 16SZ. So today I'm going to mostly be finishing the Avanti and moving the Watt 4 back to it. The jet's going to be easy to do. I'm going to move all four model memories off the 14 onto this, should I say. So it can all be near the beginning, and then we'll move on from there. Avanti should be easy because it still has a Futaba receiver in it, and I have the model memory that I can move over. So it should be a case of binding it, making sure everything goes the right way, and that's it. The other jets, I'm just going to move the model memory over for now. The Viper and the Flex. The Viper needs the receiver changing and binding. The Flex needs just making sure that everything is set up as it should be, and binding, and new receiver in. But Watt 4 needs its model making from scratch because I deleted it off the 14 when it tested okay on the Tyrannis. So yes, going to be an interesting day. So I have moved one model just as a test. I'm going to have the jets in the order that I bought them, so I'll go to model select, have the Viper Jet on here. Excellent, it has all the trims and everything. So I'm going to turn that off for now. The card is in the 14. I'm going to mount you in this mount and we'll go through moving the others over. Okay, so the card is in because we have the little card symbol. I did have to format it when I first put it in, so anything that's on there was deleted. Luckily all that was on there was the software update for the 16. I've updated it to 3.9, which is the latest version. So the way that we do this nice and simply is if we go to model select, next one we want is the Avanti, so we select it, we go to copy, we go to card, copy, that didn't take as long, possibly because you didn't have to make all the directories, I don't know. So Viper Jet, the next one is Flex Jet. Fortunately, there's no way of doing them all at once, which is a ball ache, but never mind. And the last one, going to be Concorde, even though it's not finished yet. Oh, I made a mistake. So now if we turn this off, I'm going to take the card out. For those who didn't see, well, I'm not sure I actually mentioned it to be fair, because my laptop only has a micro SD card slot, in fact you can see it there. I got a micro card and an adapter. So now what we do is if we put this into the bottom of the 16, now this doesn't have a stand on it yet, so I've got to hold it for you. Read, and here we are. So we don't want to do the Viper Jet because we've done that already, so we'll go with Avanti, convert, yes, Flex Jet, convert, Concorde, convert. Excellent. So now if we turn it off, take the card out, actually on the Viper Jet because I was playing with that beforehand. Viper Jet, Avanti S, Flex Jet, Concorde. What I'm going to actually do is choose model 1 and delete it. Viper Jet, Avanti S, Flex Jet and Concorde. So I'm actually going to choose Avanti. This is motor. That switch. Okay. So, in theory, because it has all the trims and everything in it, you can see it's got the -13. I do want to, can I system menu display? fine. I haven't actually looked at these. Yes, we are on 3.9. So, that's that done. So, we need to go for a bind. Question is, how the hell do we do that? System menu now, linkage menu. System type, channel. Linking to it on the receiver power, okay. Linking failed, let me... Excellent. Now receiver ID, that's for model match, so now in theory we should have model match. That's working as it should do. So, in theory, that's that plane now ready to test. It was as easy as that. It's going to be slightly different on the Viper Jet. It's just going to need the receiver moving back across. And other than that, the same process. Flex Jet needs double checking everything, so I may keep that on the Tyrannus for now. But we can also do with the Watt 4. You are seeing some of the issues with having a touchscreen. It really has awful display angles, and the fact that it... Okay, maybe it's on full brightness, it's not bad. And as I say, I've now turned it up to 30 seconds or whatever it was. So, this is this one done. Next, I think we will do the Viper Jet. So I need to take this one down to the shed and bring up the Viper Jet. Just in case you're interested, it's the 7008SB that's in this. The same as what I have in this box for the Flex Jet, because the Flex Jet never actually had a Futaba receiver in it. I always tested it with a Thingamabob compatible one. So yeah, I'll go and get the Viper Jet up and take this down. Okay, so we have the Viper Jet here. Not too long since we saw this when we installed the new fan, new speed controller, new back. Well, actually, it's the old back just reinstalled. As well as, actually, I need to put a bit of Velcro on there. I'll stick it there. Anyway, we're gonna install it. We're going to install the receiver that was in there back in and then rebind it to the radio. Just realised I filmed that last clip at 240 frames per second slow motion. So that's going to be interesting. So I have managed to install the receiver back where it was. Got the aerials pushed through where they need to be. In the radio now, we're on Viper Jet. Fast multi is what it should be. So, you know, you can see all the different modes, 18, 12, multi, 7, the FHSS stuff. Crossfire. Crossfire. So that's interesting that this can support Crossfire. We're going to use this for Crossfire. I have other T16s that are going to be used for Crossfire that isn't Futaba. That's just a fun thing that I noticed. So what we need to do with this now is if we go into linkage menu, system type, and then on the back of the radio, it came with it, we have our little binding screwdriver. There's our easy link button. We bounce you there for a sec while I grab the battery. Install the excellent. So starts flashing red. I press and hold that. Well, it was red. I start pressing that, it starts flashing red. and let go and it'll bind. So we're green now, and whoops. Now, my question is, if I go let me just unplug this for a second. I'm trying to do something that I learnt from Martin Pickering, but I need to work out how to do it. I'm going to need to figure out how to do this, just bear with me a sec. Okay, so what I have learned with this is to access what was the servo monitor, which is just a quick press here, which doesn't do anything. You have to long press this one. Then you get the servo menu. As you can see, that was a mistake. Let's, okay, I need to program the motor switch. That is something that we will look at doing. So 4 and 7, so 4 is rudder, 7 is nose gear. And if I try and show you what's happening in this nose gear hole, when I move the rudder, it has like a loose linkage so it doesn't cause a problem, but ideally it'd be nice if when the gear is up, channel 7, which is nose gear, didn't move. And we can do that relatively simply. If I tripods. Apologies for the buzzing. Yeah, so what we can do is make it so that we have a dual rate on 7. So if we go into, now this is the first time we're doing this, so I'm going to be a bit rusty. I've put the lock on. So if we go to AFR, which means something, if we go function 7, which is also set up as rudder, let me go to I'll find actually function, right, so 7 is auxiliary what? Okay, now let's make it auxiliary 2 just so it's different. Aux 2. So that wants to be controlled by J4. We don't want it to be trimmed. That's good. Right, okay. So now what we can do is if we go to airplane AFR and go to function 7 auxiliary 2 and come back here, the switch we deal with as dual rate. Have we got no other dual rates? Can I not have more dual rates? What? Condition select, normal, copy, yes, add. What the hell does this mean? Remove, yes. You copy to, okay, add. Condition 2, I presume that means in Japanese. Okay. I don't think we can do what I wanted to do because we're limited to 6 dual rates for some bizarro reason. In fact, do I even need that many dual rates? So if I go up elevator, I don't need any dual rates for the rudder. Right. So again, you're learning things with me here. I apologise for that. So at the minute, I wasn't going to be able to see earlier on. Go to elevator. AFR, AFR, DR4. Right, what I'm going to do, because I can do it, because I know we don't need it, is I want it to be auxiliary 2. Okay, so I can have it switched so on what? On switch F. Okay. So then if I go to, this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to get a 16, because of this complicated bullshit. So if we set this down to 0, so now the rudder does not, as in the nose wheel does not move with the rudder unless the switch is down. So if we have a look, you see that now works. Then if we flick it up, you can see it's moved the stop steering, which is what we want, because then it won't be knocking around inside the fuselage. So that is good. It's going to be a pain in the bottom. I think, actually I'm setting up a model from scratch. I can do it differently, so I only really have one rate, well, high and low on elevator, high and low on rudder, high, middle and low on the aileron. So that's only 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because you can have your high is your AFR and low is the dual rate, I think. We'll get to that. Basically, that menu does allow you to have 3 different rates on aileron, elevator and rudder. So it would be low, medium, high, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. You don't need all that. So you can then do other things with that, or if not, I can always do some sort of P-mix. But that is the Viper Jet now ready to go. So that's one that can go in the shed. And next I'm going to have a look at the Extreme Flight Extra, which will be fun.